All right. So, first off, Joe, what sparked your interest to start long snapping?
Well, my dad, obviously being in Chicago and being a Chicago Bears fan, a lot of people know about Patrick Manley and his long, successful career. And my dad sort of always knew about it, had it back in his mind. Long career. If you master it, it's pretty easy to go far, and you can make some good money doing it.
Nice. So you were a big Chicago Bears fan, obviously, and Patrick Manley. Did you ever meet up with him? Did you ever get to?
I have not.
You have not met him in person.
No.
No, but have you been to? I would assume a couple games, and you saw him live,
Yeah,
and that's what sparked interest.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so how long have you been snapping for?
I started in my seventh grade at a Mount Carmel grade school camp was the first time I started, and I started to learn.
Okay. And did you have any formal training when you first started, or did you kind of just
Um,
try picking up yourself?
I started picking up this just by myself at first. I mean, the only coaching I got was a few small tips from a high school linebackers coach. So,
Huh. So you had a couple small tips from high school linebacking coach, and then when did you kind of get your first experience into professional coaching for snapping?
summer before eighth grade, I went to the Chris Rubio summer regional camp, which was at Montini High School. That was my first real coaching experience in long snapping.
Okay. And what was your take on that first experience?
It was pretty good. First, there was a lot of information coming at me, considering I've never really learned about form at that point, and I was probably one of the youngest kids there, so it was slightly. I mean, I was only about in 10 yards, and it was a shaky start to look at, but as my form progressed, it definitely paid off.
Well, most everybody has a starting point, and I remember back from when
Yeah,
I was younger, I had a starting point too, and it's so bad that I don't think I will ever actually try to go back and look at the film ever again. So
yeah.
I remember how bad it was. So when did you actually start getting lessons through NOLS?
I started, I'd say, in November 2013.
November 2013. So we're almost at a full year here. What's your overall take? We need your honest opinion on this, of like what you firmly believe, your overall experience of the lessons, and how you really felt that it's improved, or there's been drop off, or what's your take on it?
I feel that it's really impacted me in a sense that long snapping is just not a thing that non-athletes do just to find some way into college. And it also taught me how to really work hard with snapping, different drills, and it has to be done so many reps every day, and it has to be a constant progression, or else you're not going to get to where you want to go.
Okay, and where is it that you really want to go? What is your ultimate goal?
Um, well, right now, my goal is to go D1 and get an education from doing something I love. But if I have the capability to go farther than that, I would obviously love to.
Right. So what are some dream schools of yours? Like, do you have any like a target school that you'd like to go to?
Well, my favorite NCAA school of all time is University of Michigan, but right up there too is University of Oregon. So those would probably be my top two schools.
That's a pretty wide spectrum. You're going from Michigan in the Big Ten, then you're going to Oregon in the Pac-12. That's pretty much usually rival schools. Uh, why the reason for Oregon itself? Because I can understand living in Illinois, being a Michigan fan. There's such a large school, but why Oregon?
Well, for Oregon, there are two things for me. One thing, obviously, just the look of Oregon, the style, that obviously drew me in the last couple of years of what they've done with their marketing towards recruits. And secondly, my dad, when he was playing college ball, one of his coaches was Chip Kelly, and I just always thought that was pretty cool. He coached my dad, and now he's over there, so I started watching those games a lot and just got into that program.
Yeah, I can see how that would make an impact. Absolutely, especially since he coached your dad. Have you met Chip Kelly before? Has your dad really talked much
Uh,
about him?
I have not mean, he was only there my dad freshman and sophomore year.
Okay.
He wasn't really in that position yet, but
Okay.
no.
Yeah. So what would you say has been your best experience? So something that has stood out to you the most in regards to long snapping. For example, for me, the one that stood out to me the most was when I snapped in front of Pete Carroll and also Coach Sarkeesian and Coach Ano for USC. That was my junior year of high school when they had me pretty much. It was like a tryout, and it was just me snapping to two punters, and they just standing right there, taking times, taking charts, and just viewing how I snapped and stuff like that. What's a moment that you could say that's really it doesn't have to be exactly like that, but just something that's really stood out to you the most out of all of your long snapping experience for the past few years?
Well, just recently in summer camp, the summer regional, I got to the championship and I got to the semis, and just in both of those rounds, when everyone's sort of crowded around you and you have that small 3-yard lane, everyone's surrounding you, yelling at you. You got Rubio yelling at you, trying to get you to mess up, putting the pressure on you. And that was after I won that camp, and after that, it was just a cool experience. Everyone came up, hugging me, congratulating me. So that would probably be my number one right now.
That's awesome. That definitely would be a great experience, and you're going to develop so many more experiences as you get older, and you're just going to see, when you eventually do go into college football, how much you will learn and how much that does grow up. So what would be, let's see here, what would be the best piece of advice you would give to aspiring long snappers? So guys that are younger than you.
Start early, stay with it, and it's all reps every single day. You can't stop. Just lots of reps.
Any other particular tips you think you'd want to give, in particular to the young NOS snappers, the guys that are younger that go to the intermediate group? Because since you're one of the few guys that actually started in the intermediate group and has worked to the advanced group, there's not too many guys that have done that. So what would be advice that you would give those younger guys?
You can't really treat it like an intermediate. You gotta put the pressure on yourself and almost have sort of like a chip on your shoulder to be up there every week and compete with those advanced guys.